The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 31. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, said the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah host. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee, and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in the cities, and it shall devour all round about him. All praise to Yahweh, Bashim Shah, Muhammad Kakadash, the bonds of the elders, the apostles of the great millstone, Shalom to the hopeful elect, the seeking the beauty of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathens, whom look like the heathen. They get the 144,000 preachers, teachers, and prophets, Shalom. That's what Yahweh Shema Shah is doing against the most proud. The bitter and hasty nation, man, America. Or this bitter and hasty nation, meaning America. Okay? These prophets are going to plan out, and soon it's going to be destroyed. And we're witnessing the wrath of Yahweh Shema Shah upon Babylon, America. All right? Now, I'm going to play, I got two videos. This one right here.
When we knew we were having our son, we were like, what do we use that's going to keep him safe?
I recommend Tide Free and Gentle.
Okay.
It's free of dyes and perfumes.
His clothes are coming out cleaner than when I used to use competitor brands.
Both gentle and effective.
Tested, trusted, cleaner.
What pairs nicely with space gazing? A spacious new SUV. Rent from our newest fleet yet.
I just got denied from Walmart.
Yeah, this is the video by Peter Schiff, the Peter Schiff channel, Epic Economist. Y'all know I put a link in the description box for the whole thing. Nobody can deny how bad it's getting in America anymore. Let's play a little bit. You know, this is always a constant reminder to stay in the spirit and not to tap out and to keep going, because hey, there's nothing to go back to. Real quick. What is it? Jeremiah 51. I forgot the scripture I won't get, man. Yeah. Where is it? Jeremiah, you see the 50 or 51. Let me see. I actually think is, let me see. I think it's 50. Jeremiah 50. And damn, hold on. Let me type it in. Hold on, y'all. Let me pause it. Here it is, the water help us Shema Shah. Jeremiah 15:16. Cut off the sword from Babylon and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. That's the jobs and the workers. Alright, it says, for fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. NLT, take from Babylon all those who plant crops, send all the harvesters away. Because of the sword of the enemy, everyone will run away and rush back to their own lands. So, you know, hey, we're starting to see more and more jobs get pulled back. People are no longer investing in America, man. You know? And it's breaking these people down. Now let's get, and it's causing more and more pain. People ain't got no jobs. Let's get one more. Come out of my people. Jeremiah. Is it 50? Come out of my people. Jeremiah 51:6. The water hell Shah. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, deliver every man his soul, be not cut off from her iniquity, for this is the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. And this is what we're seeing. NLT, flee from Babylon, save yourselves, don't get tripped in her punishment. It is the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah's time for vengeance. He will repay her in full. This is what we're seeing. Alright, so Israel, us as a hopeful elect, seeking to be the elect. So you see, there's nothing for us to turn back to. So the thought of going back out there into the world, trying to save your life, no. it's finished. We got to continue to stay prayed up in the names of Yahweh Shema Shah, walk in the faith. And that's it. And wait for these prophecies to play out. And because it's playing out too. So everybody crashing out, and we should be in high hopes, high spirits. All right? Check this out. Then I got the other video after this. I'm going to play like a minute or two of this. Then the other video, I'm going to play the whole thing. It's not going to get any better. And they pretty much going to tell you that. Which we just read in the prophecy.
I just got denied from Walmart as a cashier. I have a fucking master's degree, bro.
The experience of being a working class American is to just be squeezed for every single dollar that you have.
People are charging $1,000 a month to rent rooms in their home. $1,000 a month to rent a room.
The CEOs are talking. The Federal Reserve is talking. The analysts are talking. The only voice nobody hears is the working American holding the whole country up. Listen to 16 of them stop pretending at exactly the same time.
I just got denied from Walmart as a cashier. I have a fucking master's degree, bro. I went to school for 12 years, got my high school degree. I went to for 4 years to get my bachelor's, and then I went for an extra 2 years to get my fucking master's. Do you know how much school that is? It's a lot. And the worst part is, oh, maybe it's the best part actually. America, the government probably thinks it's the best part, huh? I'm $120,000 in debt. Yeah, because society wants to tell you to go to school, go to college, get your degree, Timmy. Oh my God, job security. Shut up. Please stop spreading that, because now I'm screwed and I have no idea what to do. I've applied to over 300 companies and I've gotten responses back from 11 of them. Why the fuck do you think I'm applying to Walmart to be a cashier? Because no one is hiring. Why do you even post a job offering if you're not going to hire anyone or respond? What are people doing for work? I need to figure something out. Because if I wasn't doing UGC for brands that I found on side shift, my ass would be homeless. I would be fucking homeless.
Bro, I'm not...
You see, we told y'all through the spirit and power, how about Shemash, I beginning with the elders and the apostle of the great millstone. School was a scam. Now, you know, a few men went to college and still going to college, and you got to pay that debt, but it's mainly women. At your time up, along with Esau, your time is up. Oh, I got a degree. Us women, we boss bees and we independent. We got our own houses. Y'all regret having them houses because you didn't know that maintenance came along with it. Now y'all trying to opt out. Too late and get apartments. That's higher than your mortgage. Damn.
Gonna fucking make it in this fucking world because, like, tell me why I just went to fucking Kroger's and got groceries. I just got paid today. My last fucking paycheck. And I spent $73 fucking dollars on popcorn, crackers, Cheez-Its, milk.
Bullshit.
Ranch dressing, tomatoes. Just basic shit, man. Like,
bullshit.
a box of fucking Cheez-Its and a box of fucking crackers was $5 a fucking piece. The ranch dressing was fucking $5. The tomatoes were $4. Like, the milk is $7 a gallon, and my kid drinks 3 gallons a week. That's $20 fucking dollars. Like,
what it did is.
How the fuck did I barely get any goddamn food, and it's $73 fucking dollars? Like, what the fuck am I gonna do? This is.
You see? Hey, you see bad spending, man? Hey, but you see, all in all, we ain't gonna touch that. We hit that the other day by with the Holy Spirit. These people are done. I put the rest of this video in the description box so you can check that joint out. But look, you've been lied to, you've been duped, you've been bamboozled, you've been hoodwinked. Alright? Now let's play this right here. We can play this whole video and that's gonna be it. So rejoice.
Alright, welcome back
to the true believers of Israel. Rejoice. Why these people fall and crumble, man? Yeah, we catching it too. But not like these folks. We comfort in the spirit. Hey, we got just enough. Iran war triggers 3-year high in U.S. inflation. April CPI report released. Now, this was May 12, 2026. I'm going to play the whole thing, and that's what it is. Stay put up in that house.
All right, welcome back in here to Live Now from Fox. I am Andy Mack, turning our attention to a main story around the economy as millions of Americans are having trouble making ends meet. And new inflation data is telling us a story about why that is the case. Gas prices are spiking once again, and it's having a trickle-down effect on the rest of the economy. For more on this, let's go out to Fox Business correspondent Connor Hansen on what we learned in the CPI from Capitol Hill.
New government data shows inflation soaring at the fastest pace in 3 years, and the skyrocketing cost of gas is to blame. Inflation was higher than expected in April, prices surging 3.8%. Gasoline is up 5.4%, and AAA says gas is averaging $4.50 a gallon, 44% higher than it was a year ago. For the first time in 3 years, inflation is outpacing wage growth, and Democrats are on the attack.
So much for Trump's promise to bring down costs on day one. It's all because of Trump's tariffs, his war with Iran, his failed economic agenda.
President Trump said Monday he'd like to pause the federal gas tax, but it will be up to Congress to pass the legislation. Missouri Senator Josh Hawley's bill would start a 90-day pause. It would also allow the president to extend it for another 90 days at his discretion.
How long are you to suspend that tax for?
Till it's appropriate, till it's a small percentage, but it's still money.
A pause on the federal gas tax could save drivers about 18 cents per gallon at the pump. The idea is already getting traction in both the House and Senate, though some warn there could be a greater price to pay down the road.
If you want to suspend $20 billion in taxes, suspend $20 billion in work, but nobody will be for that.
But it's unlikely we'll see relief at the pump before Memorial Day weekend, when AAA estimates more than 39 million people will be hitting the road. On Capitol Hill, Connor Hansen, Fox Business.
All right, thank you so much for that, Connor. And as you heard, for the biggest jump in more than 3 years, the latest inflation report showing that 3.8% increase. And a major driver is around the energy cost, tied a lot to the conflict ongoing in the Middle East with Iran. It's now hitting everything from gas prices to groceries. And for the first time in a long time, obviously, inflation now outpacing wage growth, which is an interesting component to all of this, as many Americans may actually be losing ground financially. This from Heather Long, saying inflation now eating up all wage gains for the first time in about 3 years. Painful for Americans and a true financial squeeze, talking about inflation the past year, 3.8%, wage gains in the past year, 3.6%. And obviously Heather Long, the chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union, joining me now here on Live Now from Fox. And we talk about this very hot inflation report. What does it say about where the economy is headed?
Well, look, inflation is a major problem again, obviously highest in 3 years. People are feeling it, and a lot of middle class and certainly moderate income Americans are having to pull back. We're starting to see people pull back on their travel plans, definitely eating out a little bit less, and even for more moderate income Americans, having to put some things back from their grocery cards. So the squeeze is real. The gas prices are costing about $75 more at the moment a month, and those larger tax refunds help a little bit, but basically half of the larger tax refunds have gone towards the higher gas costs.
And we talk about it, those gas prices, pun intended, are fueling this inflation. And we're looking at it as it continues to be a little bit more broadly around everything, all of the prices, as inflation continues to be a sticking point.
Yeah, that's what really jumped out at me. Obviously, we all expected this gas price surge, but it was really telling in this report to see the big jump in food prices, particularly groceries. Everything from vegetables, tomatoes are really surging. Of course, many people, the beef prices have been hit hard. I don't think there'll be too much hamburger grilling on this Memorial Day weekend. Also, electricity continues to be a pain point for many Americans, and medical costs, doctor visits were seen to go up again. And of course, airfares, that's directly a result of these jet fuel costs going up. So there was a pretty wide variety of items that are costing more. And what really stands out to me in the data we see at Navy Federal, you can't hide from this. You know, this isn't something that you can't choose not to pay your electric bill or not to buy groceries this week. It's really hard for a lot of families to budget and manage this right now.
And one of the main points we see of this is we talk about the economy, but then you see the stock market. It took a good dip, but then rallied later in the day. And this is a common theme for Americans. Which Americans are most vulnerable to these gas and grocery prices and this inflation, now the highest in 3 years?
Yeah, honestly, I keep calling it a split screen economy, almost like what we've got with you and me right here. It feels like on the one hand, you've got the stocks basically at a record high. There was a little bit of a pullback today. They are just totally focused on Wall Street, on the AI boom and all of the riches that are coming with that AI boom. But you're right, on Main Street America, particularly for Americans who earn $50,000 or less, you can see the strain, you can see the pullback starting to happen in the data, people not going to fast food restaurants right now. And really the next phase of this is the Americans in the $50,000 to $100,000 category are going to have to do some belt tightening later this year, particularly if the war is still ongoing.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for them to try to make ends meet in that way. And we also talked about it at the outset, talking about inflation, but also in comparison to wage growth. And you also posted this on social media, which I found very interesting, saying that Americans are trying to work more hours to keep up as gas and food prices rise. Even so, real average weekly earnings actually decreased in April as inflation ate up all of those extra hours worked. And it's interesting that people are seeing this in their pocketbook and they're trying to make ends meet, but it's actually almost going the other direction. Is that a problematic notion for you?
Yeah, I think it definitely is. Look, Americans are hardworking people. You can see them trying to pick up extra hours when they can. That's what some of that data was showing today. But they just aren't able to get enough extra hours right now in many cases to keep up with the soaring prices that we're seeing, particularly at the pump right now. So overall, it's a worrying trend. It will slow the economy, certainly by this summer and heading into the fall, if prices remain at these elevated levels.
Yeah, it's going to be potentially problematic for this. And we also are talking about what comes next for the Fed, because it is 62 straight weeks over their 2% benchmark of that 2% inflation. How much pressure is on them? And does this inflation report signal about what they could do, cutting rates or something else?
Yeah, it's a hard job at the Fed. The new chair, Kevin Warsh, was confirmed by the Senate today. He'll take that seat later this week at the Fed in Washington, D.C. And I think the former Jerome Powell probably leave him a note to say good luck. I mean, it's a tough debate right now. Normally for central banks, they look through an oil price shock because they think and it won't last forever. But this is a complicated situation. We're not sure how long it's going to last. And as we were just mentioning, you also see those grocery prices ticking up, the electricity prices, the medical care costs ticking up. So it's not just gas. And that's, I think, the end result for them is they're kind of going to sit on their hands for a while. No interest rate moves, potentially through the end of the year.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you if you talked about this. We hope it doesn't last forever. Is there officially a breaking point financially for this as it potentially spirals?
Well, it's a good question, and everybody's calculating that. We are starting to see some early signs in the economy of more credit card use and more personal loan borrowing. Certainly, again, those families 50,000 and under are very stressed in this situation. And I do think by the end of the summer, by Labor Day weekend, you're probably going to see those tax refunds have mostly been spent down. So if we're still in this situation, come August, September, it could be a real touch point.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. Some of those travel plans over the summer, people trying to get out for vacation might have to be pulled back as well due to those gas prices. Heather, any other notes that you want to let our audience share with them before I let you go, or anything you're looking on the horizon that might signal to you where the economy is heading as well?
Yeah, it's been really interesting to watch the data. I mean, this AI boom continues to be a big fuel, a turbocharge for growth. It was more important to growth in the first quarter than consumption. And we always talk about the U.S. as a consumer spending economy. So I think watching what happens with the AI boom and these data center build-outs is going to tell you a lot. But even if the economy continues to grow well because of all that AI spending, it doesn't mean it's going to feel great to a lot of folks on Main Street.
Yeah, we'll see how substantial or sustainable it might be with these hot inflation reports we've seen over the last several months. Heather, thank you so much. I appreciate your time, your insight here on Live Now.
Thanks.
You start to get pretty soft in your 30s and your cardiovascular system starts to go, and really early. The best.
Friday, and I'm broke, and I'm broke. It's Friday, and I'm broke. It's Friday, and I'm broke. It's Friday, and I'm broke. My check don't come till next week. My check better not be show. My check don't come till next week. My check better not be show. But I'ma act like I'm rich. 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 Act like I'm rich.
I say hold up, wait a minute. Pockets on E, ain't got nothing in it. I'm broker than a biggie, but I ain't gon' pout. I'ma keep the same drink to the club.